In this video lesson, you will learn how to stop Axon server Docker container. And in one of the previous video lessons, I have started Axon server in a terminal window, and I have not detached the process from a terminal window. So Axon server is running and it is attached to that terminal window. And this means that I can stop this Axon server application by simply doing Ctrl+C. And this is one of the ways. So to stop the currently running Axon server that is attached to this terminal window, I can hold Ctrl button on my keyboard and then simply press C button. And that will stop Axon server. And to see a list of running Docker containers, I can use docker ps command, like this. This will list the currently running Docker containers, and I see that this list is empty for me. So there is no Axon server running now. And this confirms that I have stopped Axon server Docker container. Now, if I attempt to run Axon server again using the same command which I have used to run Axon server initially, that will not work. Let's try. So I'll copy that docker run command and I run it one more time. And it gives me an error because Axon server Docker container with the same name has been already created. So if I want to start an existing Docker container, I can first list all existing Docker containers on my computer using docker ps-a. And now I can copy the ID of a Docker container which I want to start. So for example, I will copy the container ID of my Axon server. And now I can simply start this container using its ID. So I will use docker start space and then paste container ID, like this. Now this time Axon server Docker container has started in a detached mode. It is running, but it is not attached to this terminal window. And this means that I cannot stop it anymore using Ctrl+C. So what I need to do first, I need to list all currently running Docker containers with the docker ps command. Docker ps and hit enter. And this will list down all currently running Docker containers. And I see that Axon server is in the list and it is currently running. So to stop Docker container, I will need to copy the container ID and then use it in the following command. So I will copy container ID and then I will use docker stop and then paste container ID, like this. And this will stop the currently running Docker container. And to see if it did stop, I can run docker ps command one more time. Docker ps and the Axon server Docker container should no longer be in the list. And to start the same container again, I can use docker start and then paste container ID and it will start the Docker container. If you want to delete this container and create a new one, you will need to first stop it. So I will stop it first. Docker stop and then paste container ID, and now when Docker container is not running, I can remove it using docker remove and then container ID. Oops, it is docker rm for remove and then container ID. And now the container is deleted and I do not have it anymore. So to be able to run Axon server again, I'll need to create a new container. And to do that, I will simply use the command that we have used earlier to run Axon server in Docker container. But if it does not exist, it will pull the image and it will create the container. So I will copy and paste the command. The image is already on my computer, so it should not pull, but it will create a new container and it will run Axon server in that container. Alright, so everything is working well and you now know how to run Axon server in a Docker container, as well as how to stop Docker containers and how to delete Axon server Docker container if not needed anymore. Alright, so let's continue.